so we're just sort of trying to figure out, what is it that we're missing out here? And you sound like hopeful that maybe there's a shift going on and that some of that material is actually going to get there and maybe resonate with Canadians a bit more than what we've been doing for.
Well, I think Eric raised an interesting point yesterday in the panel when he talked about, when you're talking about the United Kingdom and you're talking about 44 million people. There's not that many more people than are in Canada, but the United Kingdom is an infinitesimal sized country compared to Canada. So the United Kingdom experience and the experience that those people have growing on that tiny little island is very universal. Whereas the experience that we have as Canadians, if you're talking about someone who grew up in Toronto as opposed to someone who grew up in Russell, Manitoba, their experience of growing up as a Canadian could not be further apart. So what is a Canadian? And what is that? What is that Canadian experience? I mean, they're so divergent and so utterly different. That raises an interesting point as well. Like there's no one right answer when it comes to Canada. Canada's an enigma, man. Wrapped in back bacon, washed down with an ice cold Kookanee. Like it just doesn't, there's so many things about this country that are wonderful and that are spectacular, and then there's just so many things about this country that because of its enormity and because it is so, I mean, you've got beaches on the West Coast that are white sand and have 250 days of sunshine a year, and then you've got places up north like Baffin Island that Frobisher Bay thaws out for 20 days a year so they can get the supply ship in. The supply ship leaves and it freezes over again. There's 8 feet of ice. So it's like, what? What kind of a country do you people live in? The rest of the world is sitting there going, you people all live there? Like it's such an enormous country that is so different in every aspect of it that I think that the entertainment that is created for the handful of people that actually live here, I think that people have tried to create entertainment for everyone, and you can't do that. Like there's just no way. There's no way it's going to work.
I think that's right on the mark. I mean, like, how can you take all those people and put them in a room
and
tell them to watch the same show?
Yeah, right? It can't. There's just no way.
And you bring up a good point too. I think that whole idea that sort of like Canadian anonymity of an identity is completely reflected in all of our cultural products. That sort of struggle to like, if you can't even define what it is really that sort of like is distinct about our culture, how are you then going to reflect that in sort of film and television?
Right, and I mean, if you ask most Canadians, what is a Canadian? We're nice. That's kind of the generic answer. Well, we're nice. I mean, that's kind of. But are we nice? Are Canadians that nice? It kind of says it on the bumper sticker, but. Canadians kind of kick ass most of the time.
Yeah, and
we don't celebrate it.
No, but wasn't Vancouver beautiful? Like for me, it was just like, I don't know. I had friends in Vancouver. I was in Toronto, and it was just like this like shedding of this cloak of anonymity. It was like, oh wow, it's actually like, and how great does this feel to be proud about something? And then we're making this film, and I'm thinking, God, if we could like, is there any way we can harness this into like the stuff that we actually produce culturally?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there are a lot of Canadians who would be embarrassed by that.